Hey, what's going on YouTube? This week we're talking about upgrading the oil filter housing for the Tacoma coming up. So to catch you all up, if you don't already know, we've already done a video on how to do an oil change in the Tacoma. I then did a follow-up video on the changes that I've done to my frequency and intervals. And in that video, I showed you all that I broke the filter housing for the oil filter. This is just plastic. I had to drop what I was doing and run to the dealership and get a replacement. The replacement cost, I believe, $56 at the dealership, and that was definitely not an expense that I was expecting to have. So I wanted to give you some tips in this video and possibly an upgrade option. So I'm guessing on one of my previous oil changes, I didn't torque it properly. Honestly, I don't remember, but there is a torque on the bottom of the filter housing. It says to torque it to 25 Newton meters. So when I went to go and remove it this last time, I cracked it. Obviously, I had to get a replacement. When I went to the dealership to pick this up, I asked Toyota if they had made any upgrades, like an aluminum housing or alloy housing of some sort to keep this from happening in the future. And the guy at the parts counter told me they still make them out of plastic to act as more of a fuse. So this was the part that failed instead of what this screws into. It's a lot more expensive and a lot more labor to replace. After purchasing it, coming home, installing it, I did do some research, and here's what I found. So I found another replacement housing that is made out of an aluminum, or maybe it's an alloy, I'm not entirely sure. It's metal. You can see it says Toyota on the housing, which, I mean, just because it says Toyota on it doesn't mean it's actually Toyota. But this is a Toyota part. It's a Toyota part number. I guess this is offered on the TRD Pro models. I didn't know that. The guy at the dealership didn't say anything about it. So this actually has a Toyota part number, but I did purchase it off from Amazon. According to my research, it is actually a Toyota part and comes from Toyota. Here's the thing. At the time that I bought this was $32. Replacing this with the exact same plastic part, $56. I think this might be a little bit better of a buy. It's almost half the price, but then it's also metal. So here's my tip to you guys. If you're going to do your own oil changes, I suggest you plan on having an extra housing on hand. Whether you get the metal one or you get a plastic one, I would suggest buying an extra one and keeping it on hand in case you break it, crack it, whatever. That way you have a replacement, don't have to drop what you're doing, go and spend twice as much at the dealership or whatever. Or your truck's not drivable until you're waiting for one to be delivered. Just get ahead of it, have one on hand, and put it on a shelf or whatever. So try and show you a closer up look. Here's the plastic housing. This came off from the truck. I'm assuming that it's original to the truck, unless the first couple oil changes that Toyota did, they cracked it and replaced it. As far as myself doing my oil changes, which I think I've only done 2 or 3 of them on my truck, this is the first time I've replaced it. But this is the cracked one. You're not going to be able to actually see the crack, but it is right down in here. It started seeping oil, luckily before I went to go and put it back on. It was before I even got it off that I saw the failure right here. Here's the replacement. It looks pretty nice to me. I'm going to keep this on hand. It did not come with the bottom piece that goes in here. It also did not come with any O-rings. That usually comes with the oil filter. But this seems to be a really nice part. I think they have plastic ones on Amazon, and they're running like, I don't know, $20. And when I got this, it was like $32. So let me know what you all think in the comments below. Would you rather have the plastic one or would you rather have a metal one? Have you broken one yourself and had to go and rush out and replace it? So I hope that helps some of you out there. If you're wondering if there's an upgrade for the filter housing, I know I was not aware and I had to do some digging. And like I said earlier, I did leave some Amazon links in the description, so feel free to use those. It doesn't cost you guys anything extra, but it does help the channel out a little bit. But I guess that's it for this week, and until next time, we will catch you on the next one. See ya.